Hi everyone, welcome to this live unboxing of the brand new 78 Tarot Elemental, which I've received through the International Post today. This is a very, very new, very, very special deck. It's the 6th 78 Tarot deck. They produce one a year. Trish Sullivan and Katie Welsh Stewart go to enormous amounts of work coordinating 81 artists each year to do this. You may have seen me working with some of the other 78 tarot decks before. This being the 6th one, they've previously done the original 78 tarot. There has been 78 tarot carnival, 78 tarot nautical, 78 tarot astral, 78 tarot mythical, and now we get 78 Tarot Elemental, this very exciting deck in a gold box. I haven't taken the plastic off yet. This is the Kickstarter edition. So I'm one of those to receive it first. And because it's a Kickstarter edition, it comes with a few extras. So I have a couple of bookmarks that I've been sent. There are magnets. You get a preview of some of the cards here. That's the six of Earth in magnet form. That's the Fool in magnet form. You'll see these properly as cards in a moment. That's the Hierophant in magnet form. Holographic sticker of the Spirit card. You can get that. It is holographic, so I don't know how well that's going to show up on the webcam. 4 different stickers for the elements. And there's also these postcards which depict the cards, but also have spreads on the back for each element. So I have the fire spread, the earth spread, the water spread, and the air spread to play with as well. These are the extras that Kickstarter backers have received. It's been a successful Kickstarter campaign, as these usually are. And this is the deck itself in this enormous pretty box that I'm going to attempt to get into now. Can I get the plastic off? Hi to everyone tuning in, by the way. Hi Delphine Reyes. Hi Anna Garcia. Anyone else here, please feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. And please remember to like and share the video. Plastic is coming off, which is good news. Don't have to get a knife and potentially damage the box in the process. So without the plastic, here is a very shiny box. 78 Tarot Elemental, Tarot of the Natural. Written by Trish Sullivan, illustrated by 81 different artists. Our 6th deck brings together 81 artists from across the globe, each one creating a card to celebrate the elements. Earth, air, fire, and water, with a little spirit too. A lovely, they use these boxes a lot every year now. This is the style that they like to go for. Here is what we have when we open it up inside. Held together with a nice ribbon underneath the cards and also underneath the book. So they lift out quite nicely. And what you will see, if I can do this without dropping everything on the floor, is you'll see the autographs of the 81 artists inside the box as well. Beautiful presentation with a magnet close that these decks have come to be known for. So there is the guidebook, companion guide by Trish Sullivan, artwork by 81 tarot artists. It clocks in at 177 pages, and it's full color this year as well. Every card illustrated in full color. And as, again, has become typical of these, with each card, there are keywords, there is the artist's interpretation, and there is the card's message, which Trish Sullivan has written as well. Plenty of detail there, a lot to get into. Then we come to the cards themselves, which I'm going to unwrap now. The plastic is coming off. Hi LV, hi Uganda Hacks. And we're going to go through all 81 cards. Aren't they shiny? Embossed in gold on the side. Is it embossed, whatever you want to call this? Edged in gold on the side as well. They are actually embossed on the front as well. These are made to a very, very high quality indeed. And we're going to get started then. We start off as ever with the extra cards. So the first card making its appearance for the 3rd year in a row is the meditation card. Very different feel for this year's meditation card though, because this is very much in the midst of things, in the midst in particular of that water, feeling that power all around you. So it's not a retreat or a withdrawal so much as being able to deal in the midst of things. It's a very different feel from what they've gone with before. The next card is the Chakra Healer card. And there are always very cute kitties in this deck, in these decks. This is no exception. And the final extra card, this is the Spirit card. Lot to work with when this comes up, I feel. It's hard to know where to begin with this one. If you can see the ornate writing on the brickwork there as well. Symbology going on. There's power up here. This could be like a source of power, possibly an eye. There's a huge amount to play with. This card's going to take me a while to get used to, I think. And then we have 78 cards, which you'll be more familiar with, but possibly not with these designs. So this is the Fool. And again, these so far, these are busy cards. There's a lot going on here, right in the midst of things, in keeping with the theme of this deck. It's not a quiet moment. Just tuning in, deciding where to go, being ready to launch off there. Here's the Magician. Reaching out into the moment there as well. In control, very focused. You may not get all the colors coming through incidentally on the feed. So I'm going to try and move the cards about so that you can see the depth that they have, because it may not be immediately obvious. Very, very powerful imagery. You even have these ancient glyphs or talismanic symbols here as well. It's a lot that's gone into these. It's a lot to get to grips with here. Like, these are going to be, I feel, those kind of cards, a lot of them, where you could spend a long time reading just the one card, pulling out all kinds of information from it. Here's the High Priestess. Very aesthetic High Priestess. I could do with a gown of that color myself. Coordinates with my hair quite well, I think. Here we have the Empress. You can see the level of detail and the quality of the printing here. Empress just with a halo illuminating her there as well. Here's the Emperor. You can see feel the elemental feel as well. Like you go from the earth and air of the Empress straight to the fire of the Emperor. Big shift. Big feel there. We're back to earth with the Hierophant. I like that I'm starting to get more decks where the Hierophant is that bit different from the traditional imagery. This is far more pleasing. There's like an earned wisdom. There's something ancient here. Here's the Lovers. And I feel again, this is emphasizing the elements. So the element of the Lovers is air. The Lovers is a mental decision. The imagery, I feel, reflects that. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. I'm just slightly breathtaking. This is the Chariot. Here's the Chariot, element of water. It didn't take us long to get to tits in this deck either, and that's also a good thing. Always a good thing from where I am. Back with air, here's Justice. So although the cards are unnumbered in this deck, we have Justice at number 8 here. I was going to say that the order changes quite a bit actually beyond this. So I'm going to see how this all works together actually. So there's Justice. We're having that as the 8th card of the Major Arcana. Again, emphasizing the element of air. But then after Justice, it's going to surprise you. Here's Death. And again, Death is Scorpio. This is a water sign. It's a water card. So you can see the twist that we're getting on some of the imagery by connecting them directly to the element that they're associated with here. Very internal in terms of the feel of this card as well. Transformation, change, growth going on predominantly internally. The external kind of being wasted and withered away in that sense. Then we move on to the Hermit. So back with Earth again now. I'm going to comment, this card is slightly curved or bent, which I wasn't expecting. The cardstock is quite thin this year. It's just an observation, it's no more than that. Move on from there. This is the Wheel. The Wheel is Jupiter, so this is potentially fire. Can be associated with water, but it's fire that we're feeling here very strongly. The use of color is maybe not what you were expecting for the Wheel. This is quite powerful. This is strength. Definite fire card. And this is more than just taming that inner beast. This is being in control, being able to push outwards with it. Being able to feel what you're actually capable of. Back with water. Here's the Hanged Man. Again, very, very different feel for the Hanged Man. This is Temperance. It's a very sweet card. So I'm getting a sense maybe of lost innocence within Temperance here. This is one that confuses you probably a bit because Temperance is associated, by some at least, with Sagittarius. Therefore, there is fire here, but it's more than that because there's a lot of earth, a lot of water, a lot of air here. So yes, it's a fire card, but they've not made it super, super, super fiery. There is power building from this process, though. Here's the Devil. Earth. I guess that in this slight change here, the Devil has more or less changed herself rather than anybody else. But I also do get, you still get this sense of power emanating from this. And the Devil isn't always a bad thing. The Devil isn't always a bad card. The Devil can be hard work. The Devil can be success, can be commitment. Can also be stuff built on the backs of others, incidentally, which also appears there. Complicated. This might surprise you. Here is the Tower. This can be the impact you have on other people, other people's attachments to you. It can be a need for responsibility. The Tower is Mars energy. This is what you do. It is the impact that it has as well. Possibly coming to a realization of that. Can be blowing up, quite literally, burning up internally. Getting too big, taking up too much room, collapsing in that way. Here is the Star. Again, it's an air card, the Star. And this is very, very much about almost going within. It's almost, I want to say, the pose reminds me a bit of what you might see from the Hanged Man at times, because this is, it feels like a degree of surrender, but it's a surrender to one's own wisdom, I feel. So it is, it's a little complicated. It's a different take on things. And obviously with any of these, what I can do is stop. I can turn to the book, see what they're aiming at here. So with the Star, artist's interpretation. The number 17, the Star, is a lucky number in many cultures, since the 1 stands for the first step and the 7 is a symbol of wanderings and travel, a positive sign for the flourishing and strengthening of inner energies. I've set up the card as follows. We see a girl in a fetal position, female energy, mother, whose hair, focused magic, symbolic for the past and deep east connection, are formed around her, turning into flowing water, elixir of life. The hair does not cover the girl's body, but lets us glimpse the delicacy of her body. A golden star is above her, with 7 stars that spiral and flow into the water. And the card's message by Trish Sullivan: life has cut her down and she is caught in despair, curling in on herself in an effort to protect herself from the world and the pain that it holds. But even as she does, stars of light and hope escape from within her, inextinguishable, undefeatable, even when she feels lost. Even in the darkness, there is always light. It may not blaze, at times it may be a tiny flickering glow, but it is always there inside you. You don't need someone or something else to bring you light. Be your own. Let it build within you, warming you, guiding you, raising your confidence as you keep growing stronger. Be an inspiration to yourself as well as others. So this is summoning that from within yourself is the main theme here. And the star sometimes depicts external help. It has that meaning as well, but there's very much that internal process that is being focused on here, getting yourself together out of that place, allowing the rest to flow away from you. Here's the moon. And here's the sun. I like the contrast in that backdrop. Dark sky. One really pops out, jumps out at you. Oh, here's Judgment. Again, Judgment is a water card. And that's what we're getting here. We are getting that deep plutonic energy associated with Judgment. That's what's been reached into. So the astrological associations are unsurprisingly very, very emphasized within this deck. You know, with the eclipse in the background as well. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And kind of a mood as well at times. Big twist on the angel that you might normally get in the Judgment card. Here's the world. Back to the element of Earth. The world is associated with Saturn. Saturn is an Earth planet predominantly. It rules Capricorn. It also rules Aquarius, which is an air sign. But very, very earthy here. Bit of air. Sure. You move on to the minors. Go a bit faster through the minors. Here's the Ace of Earth. Very, very different from a traditional Ace of Pentacles or discs. More active in a sense, more personal in a sense. But it's still about connection to the earth right there. Here's the Two of Earth. They've gone with the balance of sun and moon, night and day there. Three of Earth. Quite a sweet scene. Four of Earth. The war paint and a few other things are intriguing me a bit here. So are the horns. I'm going to wonder what the artist was intending with the Four of Earth, because this feels, the war paint and so on, this feels, and the colouring, this feels Celtic essentially. It's a connection to certain things that are familiar to me. I'm interested to see what we're going with here. So the artist says, I knew since I was depicting pentacles as the earth element, I'd be painting the central figure in a forest setting. I ultimately decided to go with a tribal, shaman-like lady. I gave her dark eyes to hint at the dark side of being so absorbed in wealth and possessions. Roots are growing up her legs, holding her in place to show her stubbornness and resistance to any kind of change. I put a dirt path or road behind her in the background to symbolize opportunities, by showing a possible way beyond the forest. I also have some of the roots twisting into an infinity sign to symbolize the flow of abundance. A lot of detail in there as well. Here's the 5 of Earth. Again, it's that bit more caring, like the 5 of Earth. Traditionally, there is help there if you actually go and look for it, but this is far more direct, far more supportive in that sense. Again, there's a depth to this card as well. The 6 of Earth. Again, it's a very different take, and that's what I'm enjoying here. A lot to feel into here. Two different realms being affected here. Reaching out by the skeletal hand. Here's the 7 of Earth. Low-hanging fruit. Eight of Earth. Nine of Earth. This feels lovely. The energy coming straight off of this 9 of Earth feels so beautiful, so comfortable, so reassuring. Ten of Earth. Far more solitary 10 of Earth than you might normally get as well. Much focusing on personal control in relation to the material. Excuse me. Here's the Page of Earth. This is the Knight of Earth. Trying to get these so as get a huge glare. They are a matte finish, but they're still reflective. Here's the Queen of Earth. She's comforting and relaxing, and she's got the bunny rabbits. Traditionally a natural healer, the Queen of Earth. Here's the King of Earth. Literally in his element. Here's the Ace of Air. In this place of calm focus. Remaining grounded as well. It's a very, very grounded Ace of Air. Here's the Two of Air. It's almost like allowing your thoughts to carry you. It's the feel that I get straight away. Where your thoughts take you, are you overcommitted to them? Where are they leading? How much power are you giving to them? This is quite powerful and very, very different from what you'd normally feel for this one. Here's the Three of Air. I know, right? I know, right? It isn't a heart with a bunch of swords going into it, at least not directly. There is the heart there. It is being affected, but it's not quite so predictable. There is this inner strength that's keeping going. And yet I am very, very much thank fuck. Thank fuck it's not just a standard Three of Swords, because people are so usually so unimaginative with the feel of that card. Here's the Four of Air. Safety there. The blossom on the trees on the camera, I would say, because my camera does this sometimes, looks so much more like my hair color than it does on the actual card. It's far more peachy when I actually get the card itself. Here's the Five of Air. It is kind of the take no prisoners card normally. Very explicit here. Somebody you do not want to mess with or try. She's already taken a few people down. Good luck getting out of there alive. Here's the Six of Air. I feel this is more allowing the light, the sun, the warmth to break through, allowing the difficulties, thought forms, beliefs to be carried away, or at least to disappear into the background, allowing the ice around you to melt just a little. Great hair color as well. I completely approve of the hair color. I didn't model for these. I might put in for that job next year. It's the Seven of Air. It's interesting. Eight of Air. What are you seeing here? Those in the comments, let me know what you're seeing in the Eight of Air. This sense, this tiredness, you see the red in the eyes. Overwhelmed by one's thoughts, one's anxieties, potentially. Speaking, I feel, as well, before even having a chance to process, jumping to conclusions with that as well. Delphin Rare says, this one freaks me out a bit. I feel like it's supposed to, like the Eight of Swords is that really intense feeling trapped, but it is all anxiety. It's not mostly external. The other thing that you'll notice here, actually, I'm just getting this now. You see her third eye just there? Much more faint than her main two eyes. So she is very much up in her head here. And the third eye is actually, I don't know if you can see this clearly, it's caught in a maze. Caught in a maze. That perspective is going to show the way out. Only you can reach it, free it, get to it. Here's the 9 of air. It's the feel of like a hospital bed, this. It's reached a stage of being sectioned or institutionalized almost. Thoughts coming back fast. Here's the 10 of air. Swords in the front, not in the back. But I almost feel these as like new possibilities, new things that could be reached, approached. You don't have to stay there. This is the Page of air. These are some big, big, big wings. Here's the Knight of air. Queen of air. Not quite so angry as the Queen of Swords might normally be. So there's the rationality here. There is the knowing here. This kind of, don't try to outthink me. Don't try to take me for a fool. Yes. But I still feel as if someone you could touch in with, connect with. Here's the King of air. Very, very intense eyes. Very intense eyes indeed on the King of air. Here's the Ace of fire. This is the Two of fire. Facing away into the distance, starting something new. Come back to the Ace. This is almost like salvaging something from before. Because the Ace of fire is about closing a door usually. It's a new beginning. It's burning something away. But this is like you're carrying something with you here. It doesn't have to be such a big shift. Here's the Three of fire. Four of fire. This is like something waiting to hatch here. You don't tend to stay on the four. Something is waiting to hatch, to be born. There's patience here. Here's the Five of fire. And here it's almost like they're turning it in on themselves in each other because they feel trapped. Don't see a way past, a way out. Here's the Six of fire. Here's a nice bisexual sky in the background. Or if you prefer, it's a pretty hate machine sky. Here's the Seven of Fire. Interesting. Eight of Fire. So what do you think? Are the ones going in or coming out? They seem to be going, and they seem to be being fired in that direction, into that, to that sort of swirling fiery vortex. This starry sky around them. You get the sense of speed, quickness of the Eight of Wands there as well. Here's the Nine of Fire. Traditional guardian figure. Again, the detail here. Get my head out of it, it might focus a bit more. Or maybe not. Here's the Ten of Fire. It's actually in quite a cold backdrop, a cold place. Carrying that into the light of the sun, trying to reach the warmth. Here's the Page of Fire. Again, that's very different from a normal Page of Wands energy. Very different twists here. She says, until we get to the Knight of Fire, which is that bit more traditional in some senses. There's like an explosion. This is like he sees himself as some kind of action hero or something, the way he's been depicted. It's got that kind of comic book sort of vibe to it. Here's the Queen of Fire. Here's the King of Fire. I'm going to focus on his friend here instead. I say friend, he's got his foot on him, but I'm going to say friend. Sure if we're dealing with a salamander here or what we're dealing with exactly with the shape of head essentially. And it's suit of fire, it's usually a salamander because of the connection, but I'm not sure that's what you've got there. The head just feels that bit more aquatic, but maybe I've missed something. Here's the Ace of Water. This feels quite sweet. Again, power coming off of the lily there. It's like almost being here, but not quite here. Here's the Two of Water. It's one for you, Delphin Reyes. Three of Water. It's a bit different again. Like having these tools to deal with emotional situations. Less about like the Three of Three of Cups is usually friendship, community, a party. This is much more solitary, much more solo. And it's creative. It has the creative element of the threes. Here's the Four of Water. Inspiration for my next hair color. Five of Water. Beautiful watercolor effect on the card as well. Very, very swirly. The Five of Cups can be that little bit delusional at times, a little bit blurry, not seeing the good out there. You get the idea. I feel like she's almost, I'm sure she's sad or she's even yawning here. I'm a bit bored with what's on offer as well. The Six of Water. It's the Seven of Water. It's quite a cute take on the Seven of Water. Pick up everything that's going on there. Here's the Eight of Water. This is actually like trying to leave but not being able to. Being pulled back, held back. Not quite being able to let go, to move on. Here's the Nine of Water. The Ten of Water. And again, it's a solitary Ten of Water, but it's a beautiful one. It's a beautiful one. This time we get matching eyes instead of matching hair. I like seeing myself in cards. Here's the Page of Water. Here is the cute, cute Page of Water. Isn't that the sweetest, most mischievous looking thing? Here's the Knight of Water. It's interesting and powerful. Here's the Queen of Water. A lot happening here with the swirling on the bottom here. These roots. The Queen of Water is the psychic of the deck, is the connected one. The one who sees a lot, feels a lot, knows a lot. For a second only to the High Priestess. And the depth as well, if you can feel her coming out at you there. I hope that comes across on the video, on the stream, the way that she really, really steps out of the card at you. Her knowledge even more so. And finally, here's the King of Water. That is all 81 cards. Let me know what you think of them in the comments and in the live chat. And if you would like me to pull a card from this deck for you, if you have a question you would like to ask, please pop it in the live chat. I can come to a couple of you. In the meantime, I'd like to remind everyone to like and share the video and to subscribe and enable notifications. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, my details for that are in the box below. This week, I've opened up slots for 1 hour year ahead readings, taking you through the whole of 2020, covering your focuses, covering your areas of work, covering what you need to leave behind in 2019, and also going month by month throughout 2020. So as you know what you're going to be experiencing, working with, this allows you to plan, it allows you to clear space. As well as that, if you'd like to leave me a donation, my details for that are also just in the box below. Delphin Reyes is asking, I would love a reading about the closing of my year, please. Okay, what do the last 3 weeks of Delphin Reyes' year look like then? What is Delphin Reyes dealing with? Yeah, I want to say they gave me the message before I got the card. You don't need to chase after people or things of interest quite so hard, Delphin. I feel like you are overextending. I feel like you might come on too strong at times. You might be a little overzealous. And yes, it's excitement, but it's almost like you come at things or go at things so energetically that you can't quite actually get to them. Just that bit too keen, just that bit too focused. So you get the Tower. You get the Tower, and this is the sense that I get, is you're this powerful, kind of dominant energy in these circumstances, or at least an energy that attempts to be dominant. And it just comes on that bit too strong, that bit too powerful, means that things just kind of pull away from you that bit too much. So there's just a need to be a little bit softer, a little bit slower, calmer and more focused. Ace of Earth. I hope that makes sense for you, Delphin. Moody Witch Tarot. If you have the time, would love a card pull about business. I'm a Capricorn, starting a video channel here on YouTube. If not, no worries, I understand your time. Okay, Moody Witch Tarot. Moody Witch Tarot. Yeah, I got the message, slow down with it, Moody Witch Tarot. I got the message to plan it out, take your time, work out what it is that your content is going to look like, who it's for, what you're trying to put together. Don't go too fast. Don't go too soon, because it's like you're creating, I don't want to say a little baby, but it kind of is. And it's almost like you're in quite a rush to do it. And they're just saying slow down a little bit. So I have the 4 of air for you in that regard. Take the time to really nurture it, pull it together. And when you do launch it, be prepared to tweak the format, to play with it. It will be a little slow going, I feel, at first. These things often are. You have strength showing up as well. So you've totally got this in you, but make it personal, make it something that really expresses something coming from within you. And I want to say, don't get affected too much by some of the trolls or whatever else you get on this platform as well. Coming back to the four. I said you're raising a baby. I'm just seeing now. Don't know if you see the bird here with her chicks. If I can get that in focus. That's the message that I was getting. This is kind of what you're doing. This gentle, nurturing process that you're engaged in. I hope that makes sense for you. Melody Melodical is asking for a card pull. Okay, Melody Melodical. Melody Melodical. I feel like you're possibly struggling to trust the people around you at times. And I don't mean that in a sense of, oh my goodness, what are they going to do? It's more in a sense of, are they going to stick around? Are they going to be there for me? And actually, do I want who they are? Or should I be going meeting other people? And there's just a need to kind of calm that tendency down a little bit and deepen those connections, deepen those relationships, come to understand what they are, how they play out, how you fit with those people, what you bring to each other. Six of Earth. Six of Earth. So the things are not bad. Things are quite stable. You don't have to make those huge changes, those huge decisions. It's like this compass just shattering here. I don't know if you can see that. And it's like you don't trust where you're at. Your sense of direction, your relationship to where you're at with other people might just be that tiny bit off. And that's why you just need to calm, ground a little, get to know things. The light is also breaking through. It's going to become clearer. So stick it out. Stay with the people you're around at the moment. It feels really, really good. And straight away with these cards, I'm noticing, once I start reading with them, I'm noticing all these extra details as well. This is really, really nice. So that is 78 Tarot Elemental. It is available. I think the Kickstarter has obviously ended, but from memory, it's available on Etsy. If you Google 78 Tarot, I think they have their own website as well. Their other 5 decks are also available, so are a load of extras. They are the most lovely and wonderful people who work on this deck tirelessly every year. I cannot recommend them highly enough. Feel free to get in touch with me if there's anything I can help you with as well, be it to collaborate, if you want to book a reading, if you want to interview me, whatever it is. All my details are just in the box below. I'm going to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, evening, night, or morning, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all again really, really soon. Thank you so much for being here.